How's it going, everyone? Today I want to kind of just edit some random photos. My first night stream. Pretty excited to kind of make this maybe like the more regular time. Uh, Trying to do it in the afternoon is kind of tough, with uh, I feel like it'd be easier in the winter. I think that's what's going to be nice too. Is streaming in the winter is going to be a good thing to keep the creative flow going. Um, Because that's the thing. If I'm trying to make a schedule and it's in the afternoon and it's nice out and I actually have my little window of time, it's kind of taken away from making photographs. So I'm kind of instead of making like a set time schedule, at least for now, I'm gonna kind of keep it random. So if it's like a rainy day, if late afternoon, early evening, do a stream then. But I don't really want to make a set schedule in the afternoon and kind of be bummed that like I could be taking photos or whatever, because in Ohio we have like a few nice weeks a year, so we're in that pocket of time. So um, yeah, I want to start off with let's go with this photo. This one was real interesting. It's up on a like this is actually me standing and I'm shooting it's like basically like a balcony. I actually don't remember what it leads to, but it's like a balcony. Basically, it's this is eye level to me. I'm actually not crouched down. So that's what's kind of interesting about this photo too. Kind of gives it that weird perspective in a way too that's not quite obviously you can make it happen anyways by having your camera low, but I think when you first see this, I think there's something interesting about what's going on here. Just go with it's kind of like it's like a bluish green. Yeah, each one of these kind of like tweaks it. It's kind of nice that this is kind of confined, to a few colors. Let's see what happens here, especially with aqua. Yeah. That's more what I look for. Let's go over here. I'm gonna get rid of some of that yellow right away, just to kind of see what it will look like. Really pushing that. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's crazy. Um, I always, it's so interesting to me. Um, it's easy to kind of get caught up in videos on YouTube and stuff where you're kind of, which I've never believed this because it didn't make sense from like photos I've shot and seen and whatnot. Is if you have like a wider angle lens, that like you don't get depth of field. And it's so I'd never really understood that. Like this is like I'm not close, but look at that. Obviously, it's full frame Leica 1.7. Uh, all I think I'm just calmly say that when you see the people comparing crop sensor and full frame, that there's not much of a difference. There's a massive difference. I don't even need to make a full video to explain it. um, Majority, I mean, even right now, a very small percentage of my photography life has been digital full frame cameras. I've shot with the 5D Mark 4, something, one of those, uh, many years back when it first came out, and then A7R3, no, sorry, A7R2, um, and then now I'm shooting Leica. Um, but I shot mainly Canon, uh, pretty much Canon up until I switched to Sony. Um, and I had there's a bunch of different models of cameras I had. I basically would upgrade them every couple of years. Sell to, put money towards the next one. I had like the 70D, 80D, and before that there was like the 20D, 30D. There's like so many. All of them crop sensor. Uh, and even, I was shooting the A6300, and going from the A6300 to A7R2 it's so ridiculously different. It's crazy. I have nothing bad to say about the A7R2. That's one thing being a part of like some uh, like a community things. There's a lot of like kind of bashing on other companies and stuff. I think Leica is a special camera, and that's obviously why I'm shooting it. Um, but uh, um, to me, Leica is the photographer's camera. I think I've mentioned that before. I mean, it's by far the photographer's camera. I think the A7R2 and 3 is upgraded version. Um, they're insane all-in-one cameras. They're just they're what they can do is just like it's never you know it's pretty crazy. Like I feel like with like the Leica, you're really a photographer's camera. There's really not too much that needs to happen for a photograph. Um, but what Sony's doing is they're bringing filmmaking to a whole low, small budget. And I think that's kind of what's great about them. And obviously, the low light capabilities is ridiculous. That's obviously an advantage with photography if you're shooting that certain style, or wanting to bring, a lot back. I mean, A7R2, bringing like if I were to shoot something and I felt like it's super underexposed, A7R2 is going to beat the Leica Q. But I think when you go, image to image and what I'm looking for, there is for sure a difference from uh, like a Q28 to the A7R2. I mean, obviously there's gonna be upgrades, but like I think it's comes down to like the sensor and stuff like that. But as an actual depth of field, forget that whole conversation. Actual depth of field, um, shooting 28. I mean, this is all blown out. Like there's even that the meter is still out of focus. It's the chair that's in focus. I think that's what makes the um, the Leica Q so special. The 1.7 lens. I mean, the lens itself is ridiculous. The glass. That's um, it kind of just goes to show like it's what you're. Every camera is. It's everyone has their own style. Like a Q, you wouldn't really make. You wouldn't really have it be a sports camera. Um, but it can shoot. I mean, it shoots. If you need to freeze time, it can do it. But obviously, the Leica Q is a 28 millimeter, and that's what I've shot. Uh, I mentioned that too with the Canons. I actually shot Fuji for a long time too. I had a Canon body with the Fuji because I was using Canon for like work and Fuji for my everyday, and then now I'm just shooting Leica, and it is what it is. That's how I knew it was time for me to do that. I've always said I might venture back into getting a Sony body for specific work or something like that, but as of now, it's been a very great break and experience just only shooting with my Leica Q. But yeah, again, here's that depth I was talking about. It's pretty rad. To me, this from I've seen like the Canon has like the 1.2 lens, and there's some crazy lenses out there, but there's something about this that is so far different. You know, it actually has like a good fall off. Like it's not like harsh. It's like how like I always talk about it, and I probably will always talk about it, where it's when you look at old photo books, like how photos look. Like I feel like this is what like this is as close as it is right now. I feel like, you know what I mean. Now this might be done. You know, I might try to get a little bit crazy with that chair. I feel like let's try the green maybe. Nah, don't even want anything with that. Let's go with blues here. Okay. Just gotta be a little careful what's going on with this thing. Yeah, like I've said, yeah, I just need to kind of like remember to. Did I bring? I don't know. I didn't mean to do that. What was I kind of doing there? Think about my next conversation as. Uh, yeah, I don't really like do any type of like selecting, you know, making selections and doing like fine detail editing, um, or whatever you call it, you know, however you want to call it. I just kind of, I just go, I go with the flow. I just kind of do you know, do what I'm doing. I try to get how you know, just kind of what I'm looking for. You know, I don't really get too crazy. I actually feel like this is pretty good. I might try to. Let me just see. I wasn't planning on doing any. Actually, I do like it. I didn't think lifting shadows in this one. This is like my favorite tool. Talked about that a bunch. Like something about in Lightroom too. The shadows tool. Um, Again, another thing I should probably just always mention too. Like when I edit here, it's not like the final. I'm 100% done. I'm gonna go back and I might even bring this up in another application and kind of do some final tweaks. Um, some sliders work really good, and some work better than the others. So I'll do a little bit of editing in two applications. But for kind of like my uh, kind of introduction to what I'm working on, and obviously conversation. See, I think we're good with this one. I think actually now that I'm looking back at it, let's actually bring this up a little bit. Yep, you still see the detail in the handles there. I'm liking that. Yeah, I like this one. This is a photo I seen from a far distance. Took the walk over to it. Let's go with this one. Kind of just kind of just grabbed it to edit in the stream. I not too sure about it. I just it's like the wall was real interesting. Maybe there was like a fence next to me too and stuff like that. It's kind of just like shooting photos of my friend and kind of just shot this as we were hanging out. This is gonna be an interesting one to mess with. Such a weird building. It's never seen a wall like this before, that's for sure. Don't need too much before it gets too... Let's get these, let's go... I don't think there's really anything I'm messing with too much here. Such a crazy focus, right? Real crazy. I'm gonna shoot 1.7 all time. A little bit red back in there. See if no, that doesn't really do anything. Not too sure if I'd do anything with this or not. I think this would be a good, I mean, it's something to kind of hold on to. That kind of helps a lot. I don't know. I always, also on a photo might work later on. I think that's one thing to always remember. Right now I'm just not 100% into it. It doesn't mean I won't be into it. Something might come up. What I've talked about before, where photo next to another photo could be the ticket. I mean, I don't really know what else to do this. It is interesting. I almost feel like if I had something, something to go along with this. I feel like the more I look at it, the more I like it. I think right here, I think there's a fence. Part of me, at the same time, I don't know. That's why it shouldn't really matter. I was just thinking like shot straight at the building, but at the same time, like how many straight at the buildings can you have at the same time? Maybe it's a good thing it's not straight at the building. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't know. One thing I want to do with Twitch here. Let me try something here. I mean, from looking, I've been trying to, I've been really liking the idea of Twitch. This is my fifth stream. Uh, I had a test stream that's not on Twitch, but it was still a full stream, but it wasn't recorded. So it ended up being kind of a test stream anyways, because I was trying to figure things out as I went. Um, but like I've been like searching, because it was a while before I went live that I knew I wanted to go live. But I was kind of like preparing and figuring out how I was going to go about doing it, figuring out what software to use and all that. I've been searching like photography editing, photography, anything. There's like nothing. No photography on Twitch. So I'm gonna just claim right now that I'm the first photographer on Twitch. um, and yeah, I looked on the creative, and creative just seems like a lot of like painting and drawing, and then in IRL, there's a lot of like there's still a lot of games in it, but I think it's more of like a voice over like talking about their day as they're playing, um, playing guitar and talking about their day. So I feel like for like a category, I feel like the in real life category makes more sense for what I'm doing. So I just switched that. Um, uh, it's obviously the reason that would be nice to switch that as well, or that it is nice, is uh, let's see, in real life. Let me open up a new tab here. Let's do some digging, figure out how many people are watching. So as of right now, there are 69,610 viewers on IRL. And there's 6,307 in creative. Yeah, I think, and I know Twitch is really pushing IRL, and even in their own thumbnail of IRL has a person with a keyboard and mouse next to him. So I don't think I'm in the wrong having it in IRL. I mean, I'm basically talking about me being there, so I feel like it's kind of like almost like a documentary, almost that I'm doing in a weird way. I think creative, even their thumbnail for creative is like Illustrator or something, and that's kind of, I feel like I've been categorizing. So I'm gonna do that from now on, and looks like I can already tell a difference. Which, I mean, when you go from 69,000 to 6,000, yeah. So let's do that. I kind of like that too, because that's what I want. If you see my other stream, that's what I name my next book. The working title is IRL. I think I might have a word with it or something. Still haven't figured it out, but the working title right now is IRL. Might even become that. I have no idea. Let's go with. So last stream I did the Amish photos. It was interesting stream because I kind of there's a big gap in between. I wanted to, like, the interesting thing. I actually already I wanted to just do that right now. Let's lock that. Cool. Kind of want to keep the sky situation. Maybe a little bit. Um, so I started my Amish Country project. Still, well, there was a zine, Amish Country zine, but I've always wanted to do a book. And then I talked about in the last stream that it might become a series. It might make sense to do that and then create like a full-on collection. Um, and I've been working on this Amish project for about 10 years. And it's interesting how, like, when I first shot photographs in Amish country, and I knew, like, when I was first there, that this was going to be a very uh, long term kind of like documentation. And I knew I wasn't just gonna be there once to shoot photos and be done with it. Like I knew I wanted to go back, and it's, like I said, it's been 10 years. But the crazy thing is to think about, like, the first times I was going there and stuff. Like I would, never would have processed in my brain that I would have been back to Amish country again. You know, 10 years later, for my first time with my 5-year-old son on a field trip. Um, Especially because it's not really that close to me, or um, where he goes to school. So it's a long field trip to even get to. So it's like interesting not to even go there for one, but two, like obviously that it's like so crazy that, like, you don't really imagine like kind of how life will go. I mean, you don't know how life will go. Like things happen, and like so many coincidences happen, and it's can't really plan them either. Like I obviously didn't plan this. Like it's so crazy how, a project that was started 5 years before he was born, I'm here, you know at a, Amish family's massive property, for a field trip, and they were like super cool, uh, with me having a camera there. It was a great time. Ryder really loved it there. Um, but yeah, this, like, right behind me, there's a long hill, and he wanted to run down the hill. So he did that and got ahead, and then he kind of just turned around, and I see the, like, this insane beauty going on right here. Uh, so it's pretty cool to see this. This photo just kind of really makes me happy. So let's see what we can do here. Actually, I think, let me try to mess with, if I get too aggressive there, let me just kind of like slowly get into it, kind of mess with the main sliders here, see kind of where we're looking. Sometimes it just works out that way, and then you can just do a few things, get the grass up. It's one thing I always recommend, for me at least. Blue, I don't want to get too crazy with, because actually like how that sky is. I don't really want to be like getting crazy. Then you get a lot of stuff going on over here. Like I'll crank it. Yeah, see, built in blue, obviously. If you draw and look at that, you can look at the sky. I can, like, you can do anything to a photo, right? So it's like, but I just choose not to get too crazy, because at the same time, if you're getting real crazy, you know, if you get too crazy, at least if I get too crazy, it's not even how I ended up wanting it to be anyways. I start getting a little too, like, I don't know, trying to get fancy or something. And that's not, like, there's no photos that I like from the past that are fancy. That's always a good reminder to myself. Like, I wish the sky was a little darker or something. Like, yeah, I mean, I can make it happen, sure. But at the same time, see, like, I think, it's easy to think when you see something like this before it's, you comes out of camera, and then you're like, okay, that's how it actually kind of was that day. So, works out. That's probably too much. Well, let me push that and go with this here. I'm liking this. I think it's one thing that's with cameras. So I think what one thing, kind of go back to that conversation with Leicas and Sony's. I think a photo like this is definitely, if you're going by like full on image quality, if that's really what you're looking for, like this to me is completely fine because like that's one thing to remember. Um, is like so like A7R2. If I would have shot the same settings, you'd have finer detail with this picture with A7R2. Um, and obviously 3 whatever. Um, because of the megapixel count. There's just a lot more information going on and something like this. But you know how massive you have to like print this, like this. I think that's one thing I realized after having A7R2 is like for like getting in there and like seeing the detail. Like, wow, it's impressive. It is impressive. But you realize you're the only one that's like seeing that. Like they're like when you post it anywhere. I mean, no one's doing that. And if you wanted to print it to see the detail like that, I mean, you have to print it massively, like huge, massive prints. Um, so I think that's what's nice too, to always remember that it's not about like having a 50 megapixel camera or whatever. Um, Photos like this, obviously, you want to have it to where, I mean, if you're shooting this at like, like a X100 Fuji, like 12 megapixel, you're really, pushing the limit. But at the same time, a photo is a photo. It just kind of comes down to what you want. To me, like, I still prefer for this, like, this could be um, like a large, I kind of, getting those late night. That's one thing I need to change my time on those alerts. What was I saying? Oh, just yeah, I was just blabbing about image quality. So it's kind of like it's a alright topic to talk about, so it's kind of a dumb one too. It's about like what look you're going for, really. I mean, if you're shooting like, uh, yeah, I mean, it really, yeah. At the same time, if you want to print this massive, you can print it massive. It like doesn't. To me, it's like what the camera produces and how it looks. That's the thing. Like this photo would look completely different than the A7R2. To me, I feel like the A7R2, like photos like this, when they come out, you're there's like they're um, like the quality, like when you're looking at it, you're like this is nice quality, but at the same time, like it's it doesn't mean it makes it how you want. It's just it's hard to explain. This is just me doing some kook talk right there, um, but yeah, it just comes down to whatever you feel like doing. Let's see here. Let's check out some whites here. I think that just did the trick there. I needed a little bit, looking a little dim. Sometimes, at least for me, like just don't want it. You just want it just above dim. Let's see. I don't know if I want to. Actually, let me go down here. Just going full crank. I think just under. think that's the trick. Yeah, I mean, that's what's crazy. Like, like there's really not much more you can ask for from this camera for a detail. I mean, it's crazy. Like coming from the A7R2 to this, I guess I'm still dragging on that conversation, but it is nuts. Like what the you know the quality that Leica brings. Um, but yeah, like even like when I first started this photo too, I mean, I cropped it in a little bit. So like this isn't the full. Like I was, I don't know how far away. I mean, I was pretty far away. I mean, it's a 28 millimeter. Um, yeah, I mean, I really like this. And this is just a great photo for me to have. I mean, ideally, if it was, uh, if I was like the way I have it, I'd have those people like me inside that barn. Um, to be honest, I don't even remember. Like I shot this photo like as he turned around and started walking, like turned around and started walking back as I seen like all this, you know, behind him, and shot the photo as I was just walking up to him. Um, but at the same time, I mean, I don't really care that they're there. Um, but this is like one of those photos for me that I really like. May eventually even just use it, just because of what it means to me, and I actually like the photo too. Um, but this might be something I use, but it's definitely gonna be somewhere. Yeah, it's gonna be on Instagram at some point. It's gonna be somewhere. Because that's one thing I actually want to do. I want to have like, um, once I start getting like the books out and having that kind of figured out, I want to um, have like a dedicated page on my website to like coincide with that book, and maybe I'll have like some of these like Twitch videos in that page as well. So it's like kind of like, hey, here's some edited photos from that book, plus information, whether it's typed up, separate videos, um, kind of make it like a whole thing. Um, just kind of, I talked about it before, which is like kind of give these photos a little bit more life than the zero chance or zero like imprint it has on Instagram, because no one's photos have imprint on Instagram. It's just so like scroll and it just to kind of kill time is what Instagram is. Quick likes and whatnot. So which to me, I mean, I love Instagram. Instagram's my favorite social platform because it's photos. I'm always on it. Um, but I know not to respect it the way that some people do. And it's not a bad thing to do it, but for me, for my photos, um, I'm not going to treat it like my portfolio. I think that's a bad idea. I mean, we all thought different social platforms are going to still be here. Some are no longer, some are irrelevant, some are half the people used to use it, now they don't. Like um, so I think that's kind of like that's one thing I was thinking about. Like Instagram's obviously huge, like, but what's Instagram gonna be in 5 years? Instagram only is what it is in the past like 5 years, basically, if that really. Um, so um, I'm definitely using Instagram as kind of like the process. I might, start throwing some photos here and there, and kind of like more so for like, hey, I'm doing this thing. um, and then once I have, you know, I'll probably have a plan for them eventually, on Instagram, but have them all together. But that's going to be after the book, plenty of ways, and probably have some type of thing incorporated with the book on it. So I don't know. That's still things I'm still kind of working out. But I've been having fun, kind of just photographing. Um, I want to like post more on Instagram, but I'm so like afraid to be. I basically post one a day. I think I've missed once a week, which is kind of rare for me, anyways. But I was posting like 4 a day and like trying to like get things going, but then I got shadow banned. So like, using the wrong tag or something. I don't know. Um, so I kind of like just slowly kind of use it. And not really too stressed on it. I think that's why I'm so excited for like Twitch too. I kind of just like having something fresh. Instagram is Instagram. I love it obviously. But to me, I feel like it's kind of like my theme. Like I'm trying to make it a little bit more than what Instagram is. I'm trying to just get a, like I'm not getting away from it, but I'm kind of reversing what Instagram is used for. I'm using Instagram for like the process, and I'm pushing myself somewhere else. Um, and that's kind of how I'm going about it. A good experiment. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm gonna uh, go with that. Got a couple photos edited there. I was glad to tell the story. I think that's kind of like what I wanted to do here. So it's good to kind of talk about that, and how that all just worked out in that crazy way. So pretty stoked on that. But I'm not too sure when I'll be live again. It could possibly be tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely it'll be on Tuesday. Um, but I'm trying to get in as many streams as possible. Even if I kind of get on some shorter streams. Basically, right now my kind of average I'd say is probably like 45 minutes. Um, and so I'm trying to kind of keep more like that, kind of something simple where someone can kind of hop in and hang out for a bit, and maybe sometimes we'll do longer ones, but sometimes I'm just gonna pop on for like 20, um, kind of see how that goes. I'm kind of just making this fun, making it something new. It's obviously, like I mentioned before, something I haven't seen on Twitch. I've been searching it for quite some time now. I don't really see any photographers kind of doing their thing on here, so kind of cool to be kind of like the guy doing it right now, I guess. It'd be cool to see if there's someone else on there. It'd be nice to kind of see how they do it. But I kind of like this process right now. Um, I also kind of have some ideas to kind of like have the idea of a live stream in mind while I'm out photographing. I'm not too sure exactly how I'm gonna do that yet. Um, but stay tuned for that. I think I might have some photos to kind of explain what's going on at something, like whether if I shoot something and like I kind of just know I might like it or whatever, I might kind of do something um, to go along with it. I also thought about like having like videos made for Twitch, and like whether it's me at the spot too photographing, I might show it live and then kind of edit the photo. I think that would be real interesting. Um, so that's something I gotta look into that. I'd have to figure out how to do it with my software, because that would be way better than having like some type of extra photos, but both could be cool. So those are things I'm working on to kind of bring a little bit more to this live stream. But right now we're kind of just keeping it simple. Um, Shooting with this Leica is super fun. I like sharing stuff from it. That's why it's kind of nice to do this as well, since I'm kind of holding my photos back a bit. It's nice to kind of like exclusively show them here on Twitch, and then I eventually send them over to YouTube. But I'm like a few behind, and I'm purposely doing that as well, just because I want to kind of have it mainly on Twitch, and kind of just have this kind of be the main place to kind of hang out. Obviously, there's um, you can follow us Twitch, and there's a thing with Amazon Prime and Twitch Prime, where you can link your Amazon Prime to Twitch to make Twitch Prime. So all you have to do is have an Amazon Prime account, and you link it to your Twitch. Setting up a Twitch account is free, and then if you link up your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, it's free for you as well, and you can subscribe to anyone on Twitch. It could be me or anyone else. There's gamers, there's tons of gamers on here, plenty of other people doing their own thing, whether it's painting, drawing, whatnot. Um, if you subscribe to me or anyone else, they actually, me or them would have, it supports us through Twitch. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us out. And you could also do a free trial. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you can sign up for a free trial on Twitch. You get one free subscription to give to anyone. I think normally it's $9.99 a month after that subscription. But if you have Amazon Prime, it's free. You just have to remember to subscribe to someone every month. It doesn't automatically subscribe, so you can say you can do like me 1 month and then go to another person 1 month and go to another person, or stay on one person the whole time. It's pretty cool. I think it's huge. I think it's great for creative people and gamers alike. Just we're just doing our thing, and it's just a great way for people to show their support. So outside of Twitch, I have Patreon. It's patreon.com/bsmitty. You can go to bsmitty.com and find all of my links there. You can find that Patreon link. My Instagram and Twitter handle is @bsmitty.com, all spelled out. And then I'm always posting videos on YouTube. I think right now it's like 29 videos, 35 days, something like that. So I've been posting a lot, a ton of kind of just me out photographing out in the real world. So it's kind of like they're fun. They're just like little vignettes basically. So they're just like little videos that like I think I had someone comment they're like mini vlogs. It's kind of a good way to explain it. So it's yeah, I'd be stoked if you hit subscribe over on YouTube. It's youtube.com/bsmitty. Um, and definitely appreciate your support. You're just watching this video, this stream. Um, it means a lot. It's to me, it's so crazy. That things like this even exist. It's just it's I definitely don't take it for granted. So it's definitely something. That's why I always try to like really kind of go all in with this stuff. Because it's when I first started photographing. I mean, I started with film. I started my website in 2006, right when I got my first digital camera, which was a 4 megapixel digital camera. So going from that to now I'm editing a digital Leica photo. It's pretty crazy, while live. So crazy. So again, thank you very much. Again, you can find all my stuff at beastmedia.com, and thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys soon.